It is February 2021 and this is an update as to where we are, what we're doing, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm obviously in my overalls, which means I'm in the garage, because I'm in the garage. And what am I doing in the garage? Well, I am building a robot. Can you see it? Can you see? Right here? This is Slammo 2. Oh no, wait, you can't see it. And you're not gonna see it. I'm gonna keep this one under wraps, because I really think potentially this is a really good robot, but we'll see. So yeah, right now I am building Slammo Mach II, the new version of it, and it is very similar to Mach I. There are obviously some things that needed fixing on Mach I. We've completely redesigned the sides and front end of the robot. We've completely redone the internals layout, but the actual internals, which were very bulletproof. We had a couple of instances, which I'll talk about in later videos after the series is finished airing, where we can go over things safely without spoiling things for anybody, and that way I can also reference fights that happened afterwards and so on. But anyway, internally the robot is a completely new layout. However, in terms of the parts we're using, it's basically identical. We are changing from the Ampflow gearboxes to these wonderful helical planetary gearboxes, and instead of directly driving, if you can see that, we have 1, 2 chains on it in each side. So one chain drives the back wheel, one chain drives the front wheel. So if the chain gets hit like it does in a fight that happened this week, you don't lose one wheel. So you only lose one wheel, and the direct drive, if that gets damaged, everything's dead anyway. So it's a redundancy system that we're trying, and a redundancy system is what we're trying on every system on the new version of Slammo, including the weapon. So, yeah, so Slammo 2 is coming along. It is basically a repackaged version of Slammo 1. We're not going to go too far down the line of changing everything. We are changing everything. It's a brand new robot. But in terms of what we're doing with it internally, it's basically the same. We're going to make things a bit more robust, we're going to make things a bit more reliable, we're going to make things a bit stronger, and we're completely changing the sides and the front end of the robot. So it's going to be a little bit different, but it's not so different that you won't recognize it. It's still going to look like Slammo. But yeah, good to know, right? What else is happening? Chris over in England is running a version of Apex, which is a shuffle bot, and that's working. So we've got the shuffle system working, and he's currently building his own this fucking guy, he's building his own CNC mill so that he can make things easier for himself. Instead of having to go to work and use the one at work, just use the one at work. It's whatever. He's his own person, idiot. But he's building his own CNC system, and that is going to build gearboxes and stuff for all of our robots, and that will mean that Shuffle Apex, which is currently shuffling and walking around, is gonna happen at some point. So yeah, it's gonna sound like a machine gun when it walks across Jono's arena, because it's got like 12 legs that all hit every quarter of a second or something like that. So it's going to be going as it goes across the floor. So good luck with that, everybody. What else is happening? That's about all I can say for now. We're doing some other things, some other bits and pieces. We're working on the next season of Battlebots and what we want to do, and what we want to do moving forward, because I have quite a lot of robots. I've discussed this in previous videos. The plan was to do a series in my backyard at one point, because Battlebots wasn't happening. And Battlebots happened right as I was about to start filming it, so all of my attention went to that. The plan is to do something like that again at some point, but we'll see. All of the robots that I had started to get ready, I had a big upturned wok that was going to be a Blendo style robot. It's just sat in the corner waiting for me to do something with it. So yeah, and a hammer bot made out of mud guards. It's sitting, it's right there. I'd pick it up if I wasn't so tired. Hyena is under the bench, ready to run, just need painting. And Foxtrot is waiting to be polished and lacquered, and then it can go upstairs back to being a coffee table. Such is life. And Foxy. I have decided that I'm going to go back to running mag motors for the drive instead of running brushless. Nothing wrong with the brushless setup, but I switched away from brushless on Slammo and it worked, and I got everything I wanted out of it. And switching back to brushed on Foxy feels like it's probably the right thing to do. With doing some things a little differently, I'm going to run the Vesks, which is what I run in Slammo, in brushed mode on Foxy. So hopefully that'll work out. So Foxy will go back to its Series 9 drive setup, but with some more modern tweaks here and there. The other thing about Foxy is that this year it is no longer under contract with the BBC, which means it's free to do other things. And I haven't decided, there's no like, I'm definitely going to do it, but I would love to take Foxy to Battlebots. It's now a hydraulic weapon and hopefully fixing its drive up the way that it used to be when it worked best, instead of trying to improve it, just going back to what worked might be better. But I'm going to be busy running Slammo because, quite frankly, Slammo is better. But I still would love to see Foxy on the show. So I'm thinking that I might let someone else run Foxy. So that's it for now. Just wanted to do an update. Been a while since I did one. This robot is still pretty hot from welding and I've just leaned on it and now I have a burn mark on my hip. Good night.